What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Heal Hack the Havoc, where we talk all things healing through the power of God. And this is part 3 of my spiritual awakening. So I think on part 2, I left off where I was talking about how she called the police on me again when I came back or whatever. So she called the police on me again. I didn't go to jail. They took me to a drop-in shelter. So when I get to the shelter, baby, it's a mess. I'm talking about a mess. Look, it was a mess, but I knew this was a test. Okay, bars. I knew this was a test from God. Like, so I walked into the situation more so feeling like I need to figure out what God is trying to teach me in this situation, because I know I'm not here for no reason. I didn't want to go into it with a like, why me mentality. Shit, at this point, why not me? Why not let God use me as a vessel and use me to heal others? Why not? So I know that there's something I'm supposed to be learning in this situation. Cool. So like I said, the shelter was a mess. You gotta, when you first get there, it's people sleeping in chairs. You gotta hold your stuff like this up to your chest, because you don't know who's gonna go through your bag, steal something. They ain't giving you no tissue. If they do give you some tissue, it's it'll roll a little bit off and you use that. How you know I ain't got shit? How you know? How you know? So it was just, and then being there, every 5 seconds somebody arguing. It was just a toxic environment. But like I said, I walked into the environment with the mindset of, what is God trying to show me or teach me in this situation? I didn't want to walk into it with, instead of saying why, my W word was what. We not going into it with a why me mentality. So boom. There was 3 or 4 messages I feel like I pulled from this situation that I felt like I needed along my spiritual journey. Like I told y'all in part 1, my spiritual journey wasn't just like a 1 or 2 hour awakening. This was a spiritual awakening over a period of time, over a few weeks. Okay, so the first thing that I encountered that I kind of pulled from this situation, I met 2 women, 2 females, damn near looked just like me. Down to the short haircut, short in stature, just like me. So the first female, she was, I would say, in her mid-30s, between 32 to 35. She had a daughter or whatever, and her daughter looked just like her. She had her daughter with a short haircut just like this and everything. But with this lady, she was so mean. Like, she was cussing the little girl out, yelling at her all the time. Get the fuck up, you need to, why are you not paying attention? Shaking her and shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm clutching my pearl. The pearls that I don't got, I'm clutching them, because I'm like, why is she talking to the little girl like that? And the little girl only like 2 years old. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, you yelling at her about stuff that you didn't teach her to do. But okay, I digress. So that's the first lady. Mind you, I done met both of these ladies on different days while I was there. I was at the shelter for about 7 days. Met both of these ladies on 2 different days. I wouldn't say I actually met them or spoke to them. The second lady I did, but the one I just told you about, I didn't actually have a conversation with her. I just seen her whole demeanor and how she was treating her daughter. And it's like, I get that you in the shelter, but it's like, she don't deserve that. She didn't ask to be here, you know what I'm saying? So that was the first lady. The second lady that I encountered, I actually had a conversation with this lady. Because while I was at the shelter, I would just always have my books, my laptop, my Bible. And when it was time to get up and go at 8, when they kick you out the building for the day, I would either be out going to search for jobs, doing anything just to not be over there in that environment. So this day, it's a park by the shelter. And the second lady that I met, she was like in her 60s, I would say mid-60s. Like I said, damn near looked identical to me, short haircut, short in stature. But the difference with this lady was she was so soft-spoken. She was very nice. She was a nice lady. Like, I had a conversation with her. We were just talking about regular shit, about how, about the shelter and how it's fucked up and all of that. And she just like, look, I done been in plenty of situations where I done been, my kids don't deal with me now. And she's like, I just roll with the punches. I'm always going to be good. But like I said, she was a sweet lady. So after I had the conversation with her, she was like her demeanor was timid. She stayed to herself. She didn't really talk to nobody. But our conversation, we just kind of talked about how we ended up there and stuff like that. She told me like her kids don't deal with her at all. So after I had the conversation with her, I was just sitting there thinking like, that's crazy how they both, like, I kind of, I kind of see myself in both of them. And then I got the message from God. Like I said, I've been getting them spiritual downloads. Instantly it popped into my head. My inner voice was just like, you can end up in either one of them paths. 60 and alone, kids don't deal with you. Or you keep going the rate you're going now in your 20s. In your 30s, you're going to be bitter. You're going to be mean. You're already a little bit mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can end up bitter and mean and for no reason and taking that out on your kids. So I thought the message I got out of that, like, change. I'm showing you what your future could be like. I'm showing you the good, the negative. I'm going to show you the negative. But if you want to see the positive, you got to move in a positive way, in a positive light. So that's the first message I got out of that situation. So the second message I got out of being in that situation in the shelter, like I said, when they took me to the shelter, they told me, like, we could take you, but you can't take all them bags. Like, you can't take all them bags. And remember in part 1, I think in part 1 or part 2, I told y'all, like, the message I got out of my mom being a hoarder, like, you can't hold on to all of that past trauma. You have to let go. You have to let go of certain things that's pulling you down in life. You have to learn how to let go. So random day, we just sitting at the shelter. I think it was around lunchtime. We was eating and stuff like that. And one of the coordinators of the shelter, she came in and she was like, I got a message for everybody. She on the little, she's talking real loud, so everybody looking at her, and she's like, we gonna need everybody to downsize. Will y'all come back in tonight? When y'all check back in to get, back to your bed? Because if you don't check in, you lose your bed. So she's like, y'all have to downsize. Every adult have to have one large bag, and every child have to have one small bag. And everybody all in the uproar, like, what? Y'all got a bento? Y'all just trying to put people out because y'all know we don't want to get rid of our stuff. And they cussing her out. And I'm just sitting there. I already got one bag. I came with one bag. Because I got the message in my first spiritual awakening. You cannot hold on to certain. They told me to come with one bag. I came with one bag. I ain't bringing no extra baggage, no extra trauma. I'm coming with this one bag. I ain't have to downsize, but people chew her up about that. And the message that I got out of it again, God was telling me again, it don't matter where you at in life. I don't care what you got going on. Even if you do got some extra baggage that you just, for some reason, you just can't let it go. If I'm telling you to let it go, let it go. Like, I'm telling you to let that go. I feel like this was him telling me, we just had this conversation. I just tried to be in a relationship with you and your mom, and you blew, y'all had another blow up. What did I tell you in that first spiritual awakening? Let it go. Let it go. You have to let that past hurt go to move forward. So that's what I got out of that. I feel like he was just speaking to me. Oh, y'all know I got the handy dandy notebook. Okay, so it was a situation that the third message I got out of being in the shelter, this was the craziest thing. I met these two girls. One was like 24, I think the other was like 26. And they was cool. We was having a conversation and stuff like that. And they was telling me like, oh yeah, I could just tell they were young-minded. I'm like, so what y'all trying to do? Y'all been filling out applications, getting it, like, have they been helping y'all with housing? What's, one girl, like, I've been here 2 months. I thought this was a drop-in center. Y'all thought you only had 30 days, but I could just tell that they really didn't care where they ended up in life. But I'm here right now. I don't know where I'm about to end up. I kick it with y'all. So, we built a rapport over like 2 days. So that next morning, they like, we gonna go to Myers. And I tell them like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to the gas station before I told them I was gonna go to the gas station. They like, yeah, we gonna go to Myers or whatever. And I'm like, what y'all getting from Myers? Because I thought y'all had no money. They like, girl, we about to steal. We about to stuff these bags up and steal. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm not trying to go with y'all, but like I said, I'm here. Anyway, I tell them like I'm gonna go to the gas station so I can get me a Black and Mild or whatever, and I'll probably come back. So on my walk, I'm like, I don't need to be going nowhere with them. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm about to get some soap. So I get to the gas station. I'm just, mind you, the whole walk, I'm thinking about how I don't need to be going nowhere with them. I don't need to be going with them. They about to steal, we going to jail. Like, you don't need to be around these type of people. You need to watch the crowd you be around, whatever the case may be. I go to the gas station, mind you, I don't got $1 to my name. I can't call nobody because I fell out with my sister. I don't mess with half of my family. And then me and my mama just fell out. I'm not trying to call nobody. And I know I need some soap. I think I had $5 because I was about to get... And that's how you know you need to let the dishes go too. Because I'd rather buy a Black and Mild than do what I did. Which was... So I went in this gas station. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this to the side for my Black and Mild. I know I need a Tylenol, so that's the money for that. I'm going to use that for that. But I'm going to steal the soap. Girl, why I steal the soap? Get up there trying to pay for my other little stuff. Thinking I'm slick. That nigga said, open your bag. He said, open your bag. I'm telling you all what really happened. He told me to open that bag up. Girl, open that bag up. And I'm just like, I don't do this. I'm green. You can tell I'm green. I'm still. That's how I got caught. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He like, look, just don't do that shit again. Don't do that in my store. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Left the store. I'm walking back to the shelter. So I'm like, that's your sign. Don't go to Meyer with them. Y'all gonna go to jail. Y'all going to jail. Y'all are going to jail. If you go to that Myers with them, they're going to be stealing. My dumb ass gets to the shelter, and I'm like, okay, we can go to the Myers. Just crazy, right? Crazy. So I walked to the Myers with them. Now, as we're walking to the bus stop, I'm going to show y'all. This should have been my sign right here. Hold on. To turn my ass around. In the midst of us walking to the bus stop to go to Myers, somebody stopped us, and he gave us this here. I don't know if y'all can see that. What they say at the top, repent, repent, repent. This is like an invitation to come to Sunday service and stuff like that. And he stopped, and he kind of like, I feel like he was drawn to me. And we started having a conversation, and I was just like, I love God, and this, that, and we just having a conversation. And the other two girls, they like, girl, come on, let's go. We not going to church. And I'm like, no, I'm going. I go to church. So this should have been my sign to turn around. This right here. This was God telling me to turn around and stop, right? Didn't listen. Did not listen. I get on the bus when we go downtown. Mind you, they both ratchet. One of them a white girl. They both was ratchet. I just shouldn't have been with these girls. I shouldn't have been with them. And I'm only sharing this story because I know that it's somebody that we're not perfect. The thing that I hate about the internet, people get on this here internet and these here apps and act like they never did nothing. They perfect. They never been through nothing. They got it all figured out. They know everything. They money long, and a lot of it be cap. This channel right here, this channel is for transparency. I'm keeping it raw, real, and uncut. We all healing. We all going through this life thing together. And I feel like if a lot of people were closer to God, we would know the way. Like I said, God will speak to you. He don't care where you at. Like I said, that man giving me this here. He will speak to you wherever you at. This was my sign to turn around. I didn't listen. I did not listen. But God will speak to you wherever you're at. Wherever you're at. If you're doing something you're not supposed to do, He gonna be like, go on, stop my sister from doing what she want. Like, this is no cap. So, I still ended up proceeding to go to Myers with him. And I see that I'm going to have to make a part 4. That's crazy because I hate when you start a new YouTube channel and YouTube you want to get 15 minutes. How you know I don't want to talk for 2 hours? How you know? How you know they don't want to listen for 2 hours? Dang, like, so I'm going to have to make this a part 4, and I promise y'all, part 4 is going to be the final parts. Because it gets crazier, and it's like, damn, I wish I could just put everything into one video, but I can't. So we go to Myers, and they went in and they was stealing. They was stealing. They did a lot of stealing. Okay, so we're gonna get back into that part in part 4, which will be the final part of my spiritual awakening. And I feel like I rushed this video. I might have left out a couple of parts, so we're gonna put all those in part 4, but I'm gonna wrap everything up and it's gonna all make sense in part 4. But thank y'all for tuning in. I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe if you like it over here. I promise you my videos gonna get better. Like I said, they lackluster right now, but they gonna get better. Give me some time, work with me. All right, I'll see y'all next video.